Fox News.
Why would the Republican leadership and the committee majority give a hearing and a platform to the witnesses today?
Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett among the Democrats calling out Democratic presidential hopeful.
You can talk.
Hi. I was going to pantomime the entire pre-show.
I regret telling you that.
I was going to be like, guess who?
It's the weird thing is that if the microphone were on and you were pantomiming, that we would know that you were being exceedingly strange.
Yeah, that's true. I'm really here to introduce Hannah Gibbs. Hannah Gibbs!
Yay! All right, happy Thursday. Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking who has the largest population, the activist left or the activist right?
Very, very interesting question. I don't think we've ever discussed this topic before.
Nope. So leave a comment with your thoughts on this question. Once again, who has the largest population, the activist left or the activist right?
Pantomime, that would look like this.
So weird.
All right, at 12:25, Hans von Spakovsky is going to join the show. He's the senior legal fellow with the Heritage Foundation, former FEC commissioner, and DOJ lawyer. He will be with us at 12:25.
Lots to talk about with Hans.
Of course.
For the last couple days, including this morning.
What are you bringing us at 12:45?
This is going to be fun because it CNBC wants us all as Americans to know that we're not really the best at communicating, and it wants to tell us how we can do better. And I'm going to bring that to you.
NBC wants to tell us how we can do better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We Americans are just not great at communicating, and it's got some really great suggestions about how we can do a better job with each other.
Can't wait for that. And it's Thursday, so of course we'll do Annie, Are You Okay? Tricia will come in studio to play that with the crew at 2:25. Annie, Are You Okay?
Also, Jason Chaffetz at 105 on the show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Right, I know.
Yep. Jason Chaffetz. He's a great guy.
There you go.
What are you doing?
Well, she looked at the show sheet and I said, no, don't, because
it's not on there.
Jason Chaffetz is the author of The Puppeteers, The People Who Control the People Who Control America. He's also the former chairman of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committees.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think I've got a picture with me and him of us pointing at something in the sky for no reason.
That sounds about
at
right.
a Vitae event.
So that should be enough reason for you to listen in because Ryan has a picture with the guy.
Now we're catching on.
There we go.
All right, 2:45 poll results, of course. Who has the largest population, activist left or activist right? There's already comments coming in over the poll, so thank you. Keep them coming, and we'll give the final results at 2:45. Big show.
A special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird specials at $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminar Saturday, August 5th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Or Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
This is Bruce Adams with All Surface Flooring, here to announce our anniversary sale starting July 17th through July 22nd. That week only, we'll be offering 20% off our entire store, including Mohawk Smart Strand Carpet and the incredible, durable Mohawk Ultrawood. On Saturday, July 22nd, come join us for our parking lot extravaganza. Help us celebrate All Surface Flooring with food, drinks, prizes, and our largest sale in store history. You won't want to miss this one-time only sale.
We all know about the speed of sound, but have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? Drive too fast and you could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, because one way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Through your investigation, how much money did you uncover was coming from Ukraine, Romania, and China?
17.3 million, approximately.
Okay, so 17.3 million through your investigation. And you and Mr. Shapley, you are the guys that investigate criminal tax evasion on an international scale. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Question for the chairman. Mr. Chairman, through the investigation of the Oversight Committee, about how much money have we seen come from Ukraine, Romania, and China?
Over 10 million.
Okay, so we have two separate investigations. One done by the investigative branch of the IRS that is charged with doing these types of investigations. These are the people you want doing them, and an independent investigation by the Oversight Committee. And we're coming up with the same amount of money, give or take a couple million, going through the same person in Hunter Biden. And his investigation is slow walked. And we're supposed to sit here and think that Joe Biden knows nothing?
Congressman Byron Donalds from Florida, doing what he does, and I love it. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Thursday afternoon. It's 12:08 here in St. Louis. We're grateful that you're spending some of this weird weather day with us. Stormy, sunshiny, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are right now, we're grateful you're here with us. Yesterday, we covered about 2 hours of the hearings as they took place, and I think that there were many bombshells that even came out in the second portion of the testimony yesterday. But there's some new news out, just breaking here within the last 30 minutes or so. Joe Biden and Hunter Biden allegedly coerced Burisma CEO Chaffetz to pay them millions of dollars in exchange for their help in getting the Ukrainian prosecutor investigating the company fired. And this is according to allegations contained in an unclassified FBI document that has just been released by Senator Grassley. Now, you might say, Annie, it's not really particularly brand new information that somehow or another those two Bidens, Hunter Biden, yes, we know quite a lot about him. Too much, some might say. But his father, who happens to be then vice president, now president of the United States, got into connection with this Burisma energy company in Ukraine. And then there were some dollars exchanged, millions of them. And for the record, I didn't win the Powerball. So hello, welcome back to my day job. And they used the Biden's influence in order to exact some sort of political recourse for people who they wanted to protect and people who they wanted to rid. Fox News is reporting that Grassley said he released this document, which describes an alleged criminal bribery scheme involving then Vice President Biden and a Ukrainian business executive so that the American people can, quote, read this document for themselves without the filter of politicians or bureaucrats. So you can now see this document. You can read it. The PDF of it is on Fox News. I'm going to tweet, or actually did already tweet it out, so you can go to @AnnieFry and check it out for yourself. We're taking steps closer to getting some answers to questions that I have wanted to know for a long time, and I bet you have wanted to know for a long time too. I think we often get ourselves into a position where we fill in all of the answers for ourselves, the assumptions that we can make based on the context, the information that we already have, but you don't really have answers. You have inferences and assumptions. And honestly, inferences and assumptions are how political campaigns are won. Not facts, not truth. Generally speaking, the facts, the truth, the reality of what we are all experiencing at the same time, politicians who are trying to seek out office are trying to spin that in any which way they can to make sure that you see a version of it colored by the preference of the political party who's trying to win. According to Fox News, this FD 1023 that's been released, a confidential human source, which is often referred to as a CHS, a confidential human source reporting document reflects the FBI's interview with a, quote, highly credible confidential source who detailed multiple meetings and conversations that he or she had with a top executive of Ukrainian national gas firm Burisma Holdings. So think about that for a second. This FD 1023, and this is the perfect time to insert here. Hans von Spakovsky is going to be on in about 13 minutes, and he's the expert. I'm reporting what is out there right now, but he's the one who's going to be able to read a little bit deeper into this. Brad, can you text to make sure he's seen that document? Give him some time to look over if he hasn't, because it just came out. Thank you. The FD 1023, a confidential human source reporting document. This is what it says. The FBI had an interview with a highly credible confidential source who detailed multiple meetings and conversations that highly credible source had with a top executive of Ukrainian natural gas firm Burisma Holdings over the course of several years starting in 2015. This is a report to the FBI from somebody who they considered to be highly credible. This person who turned this information over had talked to a very high-level top exec at Burisma Holdings, which is where Hunter Biden was on the board, based on all of his energy experience that he did not have. Hunter Biden at the time sat on that board of Burisma. Fox News Digital has reviewed the document, which includes new information, including the identity of the business executive, Burisma CEO, Michael Zlochevsky. Zlochevsky and the allegations that he was, quote, coerced into paying Joe Biden and Hunter Biden millions of dollars to get a Ukrainian prosecutor investigating his firm fired. And if you haven't heard the clip where Joe Biden is talking about this, there is a continuous evidence that is available in the public eye where you can see how the allegations that are in this 1023, the allegations that have been suggested that somehow or another the Biden family, via Hunter, with the power and authority of the Biden name, which again, in the public domain, Hunter Biden had an interview with, I don't know, it was like the Today Show or CBS or something, I don't know. He had a interview with them, and he was like, "Yeah, my last name was Biden. That's his value." This 1023 at the FBI articulates the conversation from this source who spoke with the CEO of Burisma, and the CEO of Burisma said, I was coerced into paying millions of dollars to the Biden family to get a Ukrainian prosecutor investigating his firm fired. Does it matter to you that the vice president of the United States is taking millions of dollars from a Ukrainian company into his personal bank account through his son Hunter? Does it bother you that there is money lining the pockets of our politicians who are our representatives in our people-led government? Does it bother you that they're taking and getting paid millions of dollars from foreign countries so that the power and authority that we have bestowed upon Joe Biden as vice president of the United States, when this country in total elected Barack Obama and Joe Biden to be our president and vice president, they were put there because Americans said, we choose you. We want you to represent us, and we stand by what you think, what you believe, the policies, the directions you want to take this country. The majority of people said they wanted those too. We bestow that power and authority upon them, and we can rescind it. We can choose differently with frequency. It comes from you. That power that is given to those individuals comes from you. Does it bother you that Joe Biden, the vice president of the United States, is using connections where his son is serving on corporate boards that he has no experience for? The only reason that Hunter Biden is on that board is because his dad is the vice president of the United States, and they needed to pay the vice president of the United States for his influence to make sure that a prosecutor that was investigating Burisma would no longer be in a position to do that. It's the famous line from Joe Biden where he's sitting in that chair and he's bragging, arrogantly bragging about how he said there's no deal on whatever it was that they were there to discuss. There's no deal unless you fire this guy. And he goes, what do you know, son of a bitch? That's what he says. Foul language, but it's the vice president of the United States. My apologies to the kids in the car. Don't use those words. They're bad, even when the vice president says them. Does it bother you that they are in a position to line their pockets this way? And they did. Do you think that we have uncovered the only time that this happened? Is it your concern that those millions of dollars from Burisma that came into Hunter Biden's account and went to other people in his family, does it bother you that he didn't pay any taxes on that money that came in because he was a Biden? I don't know. Because how do you report that income? I'm not sure. I've never dabbled in corruption quite like the Bidens have. It seems lucrative, or at least up until this point, it sure has. Don't come at me with a single mention of Donald Trump's name. Because I will sit here and have a conversation with you on any day of the week about the things that have happened to Donald Trump, the things that he has brought upon himself, what he has done for this country, what he has done to this country. We can have those conversations, but if you cannot answer those questions about whether or not you care that the vice president of the United States abused you when he took advantage of his position to make himself and his family wealthy, if that doesn't concern you, then I question whether or not you care about what's best for the American people or whether or not you care what's best for your political party. And I would say the same thing to the people who are so obsessed with the right side of the aisle that they can't see past the division that exists right now, the relationships that you have in families that are severed because you're on the left and they're on the right, or you're on the right and they're on the left. Folks, if we don't get our heads out of our butts and start paying attention to what is being done to this country, whether it comes from the left or whether it comes from the right, you are what matters here. We have to agree to care more about the country than we care about political scoreboards and nitpicking on each other. God, good grief, if you dip into like the Twitterverse of the Republican primary, it makes me vomit in my mouth. You go to a place like Twitter and you say, well, I really like Ron DeSantis. I think he'd be a great president. You're going to get smacked around until you're black and blue because you said the wrong thing. If you go on Twitter and you say something about liking Donald Trump, well, we all know how that's going to go. We have to care more about our country. If you're somebody who supports Ron DeSantis, if you're somebody who supports Donald Trump, if you're somebody who supports Nikki Haley, if you're that one person that supports Chris Christie, you have to figure out how we are going to come together to make sure that people like Joe Biden are held accountable. And I'm not even talking about the election. It's time. We have to care more about this country. We have to come together. We have to have a healthy primary. We have to get the discussions and the facts and the ideas and the goals out there in the open for people so that they can look at it and choose, this is what's best for me and my house. And go from there. And then when we pick somebody, we have to get behind that person because it's what matters the most, is getting this country back to the Constitution, not to the Republican Party, but to the Constitution and to the people, not to the Democrat Party, not away from the Democratic Party, not into the hands of Republicans because they're the only ones who know how to do it right, because I can think of a lot of things that they've done wrong. It has to go back to the American people. It has to go back to you. Get the government out of your business. Get the government out of your house. Get the government out of your parent-child relationship. Get the government out of your church. Get the government out of your wallet. That's where we get America back. And any political bickering between Republicans, among Republicans, fighting that goes on Twitter, it's just useless drivel that makes us feel like we won something for about 37 seconds, and then you just have to get back into the ring again. If it's not working to get the country back to the Constitution and the American people, choose a different hobby that is going to make something better for the next generation. Because right now, I don't know if it is going to be better for the next generation. We're going to talk to Hans von Spakovsky when we come back. We're going to ask him about the hearings that took place yesterday. Also, hearings taking place today with RFK Jr. It's that whole hearing. This is so bizarre. That whole hearing is about censorship and how government has worked with big tech and social media companies to keep certain narratives, certain people, certain political parties quiet. And what did the Democrats spend the entire hearing trying to do? Take it into executive session so that the American people couldn't hear it. You cannot make this stuff up. Saturday Night Live couldn't come up with something funnier than that. It's ridiculous. And I have to add, RFK Jr. is slaying it in the testimony seat. When we come back, Hans von Spakovsky is going to give us all his thoughts on what he took from yesterday's hearing. Did you get a hold of him?
I did. He said he got it, so.
All right. We're asking Hans about this FD 1023 that Senator Grassley has released. I'm going to give him the opportunity to tee that up right away. And the YouTube live chat poll. This is interesting to me. I hope that you find it to be compelling. I want to know what your thoughts are on it. Who has the largest population? I'm talking numbers. I'm not talking volume. I'm talking numbers. Who has the largest population? Activist left? Activist right? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. In the live chat portion of the broadcast that's going on right now, you'll see this poll. You put your vote in there, your comments as well. Hannah will feature them throughout the show, and we'll wrap it up at 2:45 with the results of the poll, but you got to go vote first. Hans von Spakovsky in a minute.
Then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind. That'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type. Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can. Have you tried Upside yet? Upside? What's that? It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it. Come on, does that really add up to anything? I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself. And the Upside app is free? Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account. I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
If you're as thankful to your first responders as we are, then nominate a local department and let us feed them a great meal. Compliments of Grill Master Tony Stone. Mark Cox here. Visit 971talk.com/contests. Help us feed our first responders. You can nominate someone today.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
At every stage, decisions were made that benefited the subject of this investigation. For example,
Prosecutors concealed contents of Hunter Biden's laptop from investigators. DOJ slow-walked steps to include interviews, serving document requests, and executing search warrants. Warrants that were ready as early as April of 2020, but were delayed until after the November 2020 election and never pursued. Investigators were not allowed to follow up on WhatsApp messages from Hunter Biden's Apple iCloud backup, where he suggested he was sitting next to his father. Assistant United States Attorney Leslie Wolf cited the optics of executing a search warrant at President Biden's residence as a deciding factor for not allowing it, even though she agreed that probable cause existed. Prosecutors instructed investigators not to ask about the big guy or dad when conducting interviews.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
your form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Hans, I feel like I could do a whole show with you today. Thanks for being with us. Quite a lot going on Capitol Hill, and I want to give you the opportunity to talk about what you pulled from that testimony yesterday from those two IRS whistleblowers on the investigations into Hunter Biden.
That testimony was devastating, devastating for the Biden family. And it was so devastating that the only thing Democrats could do, they really couldn't question the substance of what they were saying. Instead, they tried to divert the hearing to talking about Donald Trump, which, of course, has absolutely nothing to do. And, you know, they were completely unable to shake these witnesses. The reason being, they weren't saying and relating what other people had told them. They directly were involved in this. They were directly there when they were looking at the evidence they did find. They were the investigators that were told directly by other FBI personnel and specifically by the Justice Department, no, you're not going to ask any questions about Joe Biden. No, you're not going to get any information from the Hunter Biden laptop. It's just one thing after another. There is absolutely no defense that anyone could put up to what these witnesses said yesterday.
Hans von Spakovsky joins us now, the senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Your takeaway from what the whistleblowers under oath testified yesterday, you're talking about some of those roadblocks or slow walking that the people who were above these investigators, who are incredibly credible, you can't look at them and say that, oh, these are just troublemakers that are there for the Republican Party's benefit. How does what we heard from the IRS whistleblowers yesterday work with what we've heard from Merrick Garland before, what we've heard from the DOJ before?
It makes Merrick Garland look like a liar and a machine politician who is willing to do anything to protect his boss, Joe Biden, not someone who is acting the way the Attorney General of the United States is supposed to act, which is to make sure that justice is administered in an objective way and that everyone is held to the letter of the law.
Hans, I've heard people say that what was said under oath with the whistleblowers is not congruent with what Merrick Garland has said under oath. And I've seen, you know, if you're on the right and you perjured yourself, I don't think you'd get away with that. Is it true that one of these two people has not told the truth?
Yes. The simple answer is yes. But is anything going to happen to Garland over that? No, not unless justice impeaches him. Because the other thing that just happened, this wasn't part of the hearing, but, you know, Senator Chuck Grassley just released and sent a letter that he sent to the Justice Department pointing out all of these personnel within the government, DOJ, lawyers, and others who clearly lied under oath, lied according to the Inspector General of the Justice Department, I think close to a dozen individuals, not a single one of whom was prosecuted. And he compared that to people like General Michael Flynn being prosecuted for supposedly, you know, lying to FBI agents. When it's folks inside justice violating the law, apparently justice has no interest in prosecuting them.
Yeah, it just, the two-tier justice system is a phrase that is used so frequently now that I think it can become wallpaper for folks when they see it in a news article or a headline. Was what we heard yesterday more evidence that if you have one last name or one political party, you get treated differently in this country than if you have a different one?
Yeah, it certainly was. At one point, James Comer, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, went through and asked one of the whistleblowers, a man named Ziegler. He was the whistleblower that had not been identified until the hearing. He went through point by point, asking Joe Ziegler, well, how much money did Hunter Biden and his family get from all these foreign interests, foreign governments? $17 million.
Yeah. It's difficult to sit here and to cover this. And to me, it's like a series of face palms. And my forehead is starting to get a little sore from watching what I can see from my non-legal expertise. And when I talk to people like you, or I talk to other people who know how DC works, to just see that there are just some things that people are able to get away with. And it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way it is. When they started the hearing yesterday, Congressman Raskin was talking about how, it's so common for prosecutors and investigators to disagree with one another. And then he also explained how David Weiss, I guess the lead person who could have prosecuted this more, he's denying, I guess, publicly that he was hindered along the way. How do you reconcile those points from Raskin with what the whistleblowers had to say yesterday?
Oh, Raskin was just blowing smoke. It's one thing. It's one thing for a prosecutor not to go forward with a case because he doesn't think there's sufficient evidence to get a conviction. That was not what the whistleblowers described. What the whistleblowers described was the Justice Department preventing the investigators from getting evidence. Why else would they not give them all of the communications from the laptop? Why else would they not let them execute a search warrant on the guest house at Joe Biden's Delaware home where Hunter Biden had been living? In fact, the assistant U.S. attorney who said they couldn't do it agreed. They had enough information to warrant a search, but they didn't allow them to do it because of the optics. So, the ranking Democrat on that committee was just blowing smoke. I'll tell you one other point that I don't think a lot of people noticed, and if I may, and this shows you the special treatment being given to Hunter and how the Biden Justice Department did not want to prosecute him. The statute of limitations ran on Hunter Biden's evasions of paying taxes in 2014, 2015. But the Justice Department deliberately allowed the statute of limitations to run because one of the witnesses yesterday, I think it was Joe Ziegler again, said that, look, the Justice Department was having discussions with Hunter Biden's lawyers as the statute of limitations deadline was approaching, and Hunter Biden's lawyers said, well, look, we will agree. We'll enter an agreement with you that the statute of limitations will not run so that we can continue talking to you. That's a standard thing prosecutors will do when the statute of limitations is about to run. The Justice Department didn't take them up on it. They deliberately allowed the statute of limitations to run, which meant they couldn't prosecute Hunter Biden for not paying even more taxes.
Has David Weiss's story stayed consistent over the period of this investigation with saying, the latest thing he said, and this was something that the Democrats in the hearing brought up, is he's saying he wasn't hindered along the way. He's saying he prosecuted what he wanted to prosecute and he was fine with the way it went. Has that always been his story?
No, that's certainly not what he told the whistleblowers in internal meetings. And if, in fact, he's taking that position now, that demonstrates his incompetence as a prosecutor, because it's very clear that they had sufficient evidence to charge Hunter Biden with many serious felonies. And even on the plea agreement that they now have, remember, this plea agreement is coming up before the judge on July 26th. So this is the one where Hunter Biden's going to agree to 2 misdemeanor charges of not paying his taxes for 2 years. Joe Ziegler pointed out yesterday, the IRS agent, that he's not even going to be required to fix the tax returns he filed, in which he claimed as business deductions things like paying prostitutes.
It's good to be a Biden, I guess. I do not have that.
Sure is.
This is a privilege that I do not have myself. Last question before I let you go. There's more testimony taking place on Capitol Hill today, with RFK Jr. being a witness called by the Republicans in a censorship hearing. And you can say whatever you want to say about that hearing, however much you've paid attention to it. But congressional Republicans in the House, who have a very slim majority and a minority in the Senate, when you look at the powers bestowed upon a slim majority party in the House, what do you think about how they're using that authority when it comes to these types of hearings that we saw yesterday, that we're seeing today, and that we'll continue to see here in the future?
Oh, look, I actually think they're doing a tremendous job. I mean, that hearing yesterday, like I said, the testimony they were able to get from these whistleblowers was devastating. And in today's hearing, I was actually watching it. Democrats are so concerned over the publicity being given to the fact that Biden's FBI and other federal agencies were censoring Americans' opinions, that they tried to divert the entire hearing away from talking about that to trying to claim that Robert Kennedy is an anti-Semite, which is completely made up.
Yeah, I think it's quite ironic to watch the Democrats continuously try to take that hearing and put it in an executive session so that the American people can't hear it, and it's a hearing about censorship. Right. It's pretty ironic.
Right.
We appreciate you, Hans. Thanks for being with us today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hans von Spakovsky, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, our friend here on the Annie Frey Show, 97.1. He's a DOJ lawyer, and he's also an author of a book called Our Broken Elections. Pick it up and let him know on Twitter, Von Spakovsky, how you liked this interview, and if you've read his book, go tell him hi. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America in studio. Something that we could all benefit from is some advice from Ryan Wiggins on how to be better communicators and CNBC, which may make it better or worse. I'm going to have to think about that on the break. I'm not even 100% sure. Ryan's going to give us some advice and some tips when we return. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
It's always great when you have an opportunity to help those who are helping you in your community. We absolutely love our first responders, police officers, firefighters. When you live in a community, a big small town like St. Louis and all the places that make up the St. Louis region, you know these people. And when you partner with Ruler Foods, you're going to get to help hydrate your heroes for the next couple of weeks. It's happening right now. Do you know where the Ruler Foods is closest to you? Well, now's the time. Get online, rulerfoods.com. and put it in your zip code if you haven't found it yet, but many of you have. I heard from you, and you love saving money just like the Frey family does. You can drop off purchased items or just stop by Ruler Foods and purchase a 6-pack or something and leave it there at Ruler Foods to help hydrate your local heroes. They have Gatorade 28 ounces, 4 for $5, must buy 4. You can go there and pick up 4 of those and just leave them behind, $5, easy to do. Gatorades, Kroger, 24 packs of water, Powerades. You have everything you need for your own personal hydration and also a way to help your local community. Those people who we are so incredibly grateful for. Very happy to partner with Ruler Foods to hydrate your heroes at the end of this summer. RulerFoods.com.
This is it. The final days, the final hours of Diamonds Direct's Midsummer Store-Wide Savings Event. Time is running out on this incredible buying opportunity. You have until Saturday at 6 p.m. to shop in-store and get 20% savings on virtually everything. Exclusive trunk shows all weekend with world-renowned designers in-store. Save an extra 20% off rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, even engagement ring mountings. Don't miss this once-a-year store-wide event. Hurry, sale ends Saturday. Get all the details now at diamondsdirect.com.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird specials at $49.99. Seminar Saturday, August 5th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis, or Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Scott, they're here.
Who's here?
Our newest delivery of carpet tile, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tiles, sheet vinyl, ceramic, hardwood, and laminate.
Of course, and we're fully stocked at both of our locations, 7301 North Lindbergh Boulevard in Hazelwood, Missouri, and 1851 West US Highway 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois.
Open 7 days a week.
Free financing for qualified purchasers. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Well, you have really tuned in at the right time. Not only is Wiggins America next, but 105, Jason Chaffetz is going to be on the show. Then 125, Tyrus. So a packed show over the next hour or so.
But
stick around.
Wiggins America next.
But Wiggins America next really is kind of the point of this whole break.
Nobody follows Wiggins America.
You know what? Wiggins America is a great place to live, and I encourage everybody to get their passport and come. 12:47.
It's in Cran.
Is the time. You jerk. Time check 12:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Filtering the BS pushed by the mainstream media.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Seems like a song you'd dance to.
You ever seen Spider-Man dance with this song online?
I don't know that I have.
Oh, man, it's
what
great.
Is Take on Me? Is this Take on Me?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good
Just
one.
Google Spider-Man Take on Me.
I'm about to while you do your segment.
It's really great.
We'll see which better. Spider-Man dancing to
Oh,
Take
I can
on
already
Me
tell
or...
you.
Oh, really?
It's Spider-Man. For sure. Spider-Man is one of the best videos I've ever seen.
Spider-Man Take on Me. All
Everybody's
right.
Googling it.
Carry on.
Yeah, real quick, too, from Tuesday, talking about the Powerball. Now, of course, Powerball has a jackpot winner, but and it's not in Illinois or Missouri. The Yahoo article I read said, quote, depending on the state you're in, you're watching it right now, aren't you? It's amazing, isn't it? Depending on the state you're in, you can claim it anonymously. Delaware, Kansas, North Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, or Maryland. The article actually did not list Missouri or Illinois, and you can remain anonymous in Missouri, Illinois. Illinois has to be over $250,000, just for some clarification.
Wasn't Illinois like you can request?
I think
For
it's in
a
both.
small, large donation to the Democratic
Right.
Party, you too can be anonymous.
Exactly.
I was looking through that Hill article because I didn't know all those details either. And there are lots of different ways. I mean, like in some places you can remain anonymous, in some places you can't, but it's not as simple as yes or no.
No, and every state's laws are different. Missouri just passed theirs in 2021. So up until then, I don't think you could remain anonymous.
If one of us was the one who bought the ticket, even though it was in California, but we have people in California. One of the number one rules was don't tell anybody. So you'd have to come to work the next day if you want it. I'm just saying.
Right. So it could be one of us and our deep ties to California. So anyway, that's not the subject of Wiggins America, though. Wiggins! Wiggins America is, it's being usurped by me.
Yeah, I need to X that out right now.
You're trying to play Take On Me. It's just Take On Me. You're not going to be able to see anything.
Go on.
All right, so you're going to show the Spider-Man video. There you go. I'm telling you, it's amazing. He's just dancing in the store.
Do the segment.
All right.
This is for the people, the 118 people on our live stream.
According to CNBC, this is how to be more charming and interesting.
I think you should just be like the Spider-Man.
What they did was they said, you know who's not charming and interesting? Americans.
Oh, that's not even true.
That's the CNBC saying this.
CNBC would say that.
Exactly.
They hate Americans.
They said,
Sounds
you know where we need to look. How do French people start and maintain meaningful conversations that they're so famous for?
Gosh.
Are the French, what's the word that we're trying to be here?
Charming and interesting.
The French are supposed to be charming and interesting, and Americans
in conversation.
Aren't?
Yeah, and they
so
start
is like
great
a communication
conversations.
thing.
Man,
yeah,
sus.
It starts from a questionable premise.
Sus.
It says, how do French people maintain meaningful conversations that they're so famous for? Apparently,
stop trying to date France. France is never going to date you.
Right? Yeah. Well, first of all, it says they don't ask questions about work, which can seem invasive or unimportant. Come on.
CNBC. Are you newly unemployed over there or something? Yeah. A little sensitive to the issue?
This person had plenty of time to write this article. And they love inviting deep, even argumentative conversation.
Unlike Americans?
No, yeah, we stay away. We're like,
do you even know Americans?
Healthy dispute and debate is practically a national sport. There in France.
Oh, they qualified it with healthy.
And here's how you know they're elitist.
Who, CNBC or the French?
CNBC.
Okay, because I'm
when
okay
they
with
call
the French.
these people Parisians, as in from Paris.
It's good that you knew that.
The Parisians, I know, use these open-ended questions to charm everyone they meet.
I need you to go around the office after we're done here. Go on.
Number one, where are you from?
That's creepy. But don't say, what do you do for a living?
That's so boring.
Where are you from?
Where are you
That's
from?
how they want us to be better
Collinsville?
communicators?
Is that not any different, though, than the idea of what high school did you go to? Is France not also trying to surmise some things about who you really are?
Maybe.
And I would say this,
but that would be elitist. This is supposed to be charming and interesting.
If you as an American go to France, they're not going to ask you that question because they already know where you're from.
Well,
Fat and
also,
happy.
if you're in Paris, maybe there's a lot more international intrigue to the people who are there. Here, you think I'm going to go, Brad, where are you from? Oh, Fallon? Wow, what a great conversation we're having.
I'm saying that we do that. In Missouri, I know, I lied.
Where'd you go to high school?
No. We don't do that.
No.
I'm from Illinois. We don't know what that means. Missourians, you do it.
Hannah does it.
Hannah does it.
I do
Do
it all
you
the
do
time.
it? Really?
Where did you go to high school? Yeah, all the time.
You can know so much, or assuming so much about someone based on where they went to high school is what I've been told. When people ask me, where do you go to high school, I say, Illinois.
That's what I say. Because you know what they're
and then
looking for.
People instantly tap out. They're like,
They go, oh.
Yeah.
And they're just on to the next person.
Because you don't know. Because you don't know what it means if you went to O'Fallon or if you went to Edwardsville or Father McGivney or whatever it might be. They don't know what that, they don't know, like, it's not useful to them. Unlike the French.
Here's the next one. How long have you lived there?
What
scary.
is the code to your garage? That's bizarre.
It's just so broad.
What's wrong with CNBC?
I was told asking somebody where they're from is a microaggression.
Did you say this is supposed to be charming?
This is supposed to be questions to start the conversation. If you're charming and interesting like the French or the Parisians. Have you seen any good movies or TV shows lately?
My answer is no. I have kids.
This is stuff we all do anyway.
No, here's the thing, though. I think that what we're getting from the French is all of these are small conversations, so less is more. Less talk, mind your business.
Do you have any favorite restaurants in this town?
This is like bad
Emos.
first date
Yeah.
advice.
This is like if somebody pulls this out and starts using this, you're like, okay, this is the equivalent of some guy wearing a power tie and shaking my hand real hard. He's trying to do something. Here, questions to inspire thought. So that's just to start the conversation.
Oh, good.
This is when you want to get a little deeper with somebody.
This is the juicy part.
You say, what's your deepest desire at this very moment?
What?
What?
To punch you in the face. I won't do it because it's just a desire.
A stranger opens with, hey, where are you from, Hannah? And then you say, Fenton. And then they go, what's your deepest desire at this very moment?
Hannah's going to say, not what you want it to be.
What is your deepest desire at this moment?
I mean, really.
I would be floored if a stranger asked me that.
That's where you just pause and turn and walk away.
Yeah, I'd
It's
be
like, end here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was sitting here alone for a reason.
I'm scared.
If you could live in any decade or year, then what would it be? I mean, these are just like from a board game.
You know what you could say? You know what you could say? Globally. Donald Trump. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
And they're in France. The Parisians.
Yes.
The ones who went to Paris High School. They're gonna have a thought.
I mean, this really is.
Is he the orange one?
This
Yeah,
really
it's
is
him.
a list of things that you could get from one of those conversation starter games, like little cards. If somebody's pulling these out going, next question.
You know what?
If you could eat the same meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Lucky Charms. If you are in a situation where a conversation like this is required to take place, that's Guantanamo Bay for me.
Yes. Yeah, I know it is. It's for most of us. This is awful.
This is if you forcing me to sit down and have small talk with someone because the purpose of the time spent is to continue talking.
Yes.
No.
Right.
I want nothing to do with it. What you want my social security number? What is it you need here?
Yeah. The title should have been "The person you're with is looking for the exit." How do you try to make sure that they don't leave? But it's not going to work anyway. The next one. What are 3 items you would take with you to a desert island?
Oh, my God.
I mean, these are the most...
I would take you to the desert island. Then I would leave.
If someone handed you $1 million today, what would you do with it? I'm not saying these aren't interesting conversation starters. It's just if you sit down with somebody and you start going through your card list...
Those are the questions those are like the only questions left for me to ask my husband. Because we never talked about it.
What is something that moved you recently?
Yeah, Jared.
Yeah, okay.
You tell me what's moved you recently. You can call on the show and then we'll put it on the air. Better be about me.
Take this article and go to Paris.
Yeah, I'm not.
You'll have a great time.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep to myself. Thanks, Wiggins America. We appreciate it. When we come back, Jason Chaffetz on the hearings. Don't go away.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Ad paid for by Aldean and Aldean. COVID-19 was tough on businesses. If you experienced a negative impact to your business during the pandemic and have at least 5 W-2 employees, then you need to pay attention. There are some new powerful incentives that have been created specifically for businesses impacted by COVID-19. One such program is the Employee Retention Credit. Its tax incentive could bring you some serious cash back to your business. Even if you received a PPP loan in 2020 or 2021, you were still permitted to receive this credit. There are many ways to be eligible, and taking advantage of this tax credit doesn't need to be complicated. We made it easy for you by doing the legwork to maximize the amount of your refund due. Call us today at 800-874-1654 and we'll set your business up to take full advantage of the Employee Retention Tax Credit. That's 800-874-1654. Again, 800-874-1654. We'll get the ball rolling on getting you and your business some much-needed relief, but time is limited to file a claim. So call 800-874-1654.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Common ground on Capitol Hill. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The top House Democrat highlighting how it's still possible.
Democrats and Republicans came together to reauthorize the Federal Aviation Administration in a bipartisan way.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries after passage of that FAA bill, which includes efforts to hire more air traffic controllers and address delays and safety concerns. But Jeffries also accuses Republicans of catering to extreme ideology as work continues on other appropriations bills. Republicans accuse the Biden administration of colluding with big tech to censor opposing views, drilling down on COVID information at a House hearing.
They are at the same time denying that censorship is occurring, but suggesting that there's more material that needs to be censored.
Kentucky Republican Congressman Thomas Massey after Democrat Debbie Wasserman Schultz tried to move the hearing behind closed doors, accusing Democratic presidential candidate Robert Kennedy Jr. of racist and anti-Semitic remarks he's previously apologized for.
These are not real statements of contrition or remorse. They are passive-aggressive non-apologies that blame the listener for reacting to the lie you just read.
Kennedy denies being racist or anti-vaccine.
If the views that you and others have applied to me, have attributed to me, if they were actually true, I can see why I shouldn't be able to testify here today.
And he says shutting down debate fuels more toxic polarization. Democrats say the government has targeted misinformation to protect public health. President Biden taking his Bidenomics pitch to a shipyard in Philadelphia.
Over 1,000 union workers will be employed on site.
They'll build a new ship that's to be used to build offshore wind farms. Another example, the president says, of investments fueled by his policies. America is listening to Fox News.
For over a decade, SimpliSafe has revolutionized home security, and our latest advancement is here, 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Summertime air in play the rest of the afternoon, but the humidity is going to try to drop as we get into tonight. Partly sunny, still humid this afternoon, 92. Tonight, clear skies, that dropping humidity, 65 for the low Friday. Spectacular. Partly sunny, low humidity, nice, 82. Weekend looks great. Saturday, partly sunny, 85. Sunday, partly sunny, 88. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Starting your morning in the right direction.
I listen to you every morning.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
My husband and I both work for a living, and it's really hard to watch the news, so thank you.
Weekdays from 5 to 9.
Good morning, Mark. Thank you so much for what you do.
On 97.1 FM Talk.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. Not all law firms are created equal. Don't risk your future with just any firm. See how Onder Law is different.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird specials at $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also stop smoking with Mark Patrick. No matter how many times you try to quit, this hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Saturday, August 15th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. And Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis, Fairview Heights, and Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. This summer, try some eco-friendly water sports like paddleboarding, swimming, or diving. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
And you testified that he said that Hunter told his dad, according to Rob Walker, quote, "I may be trying to start a company or try to do something with these guys." Now, let me ask you something. That doesn't sound much like Joe Biden was involved in whatever Hunter Biden was doing with the CEFC if Hunter Biden is telling him that he's trying to do business with them, does it?
No, but it does show that he told his father he was trying to do business. And he was
okay, well, that is true. Hunter Biden does try to do business. That's correct.
Whoops. That's just probably not the direction that Congressman Goldman, the Democrat from New York, was trying to take that line of questioning, but yet there it was. It was quite something to take in. We covered it live for a couple hours here yesterday on the Annie Frey Show, and we've been getting reaction from various places. And next we go to our friend Jason Chaffetz. So incredible to have you on the show with us, Fox News contributor, former chairman of the Oversight and Government Reform Committees in the U.S. House of Representatives. Easy for me to say. Jason, welcome back to the show. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Annie. Glad to be with you.
When you are watching these types of hearings take place, are you constantly thinking, this is what I would do, this is how they should do it, or how do you consume these things knowing the behind the scenes that you've been a part of?
Well, look, I voluntarily left Congress, but when you have these types of big hearings, I really do miss that part. They're amazing. It's amazing to me how many people they just don't know how to ask questions. But look, I think James Comer is doing a fabulous job. I mean, absolutely wonderful job. And the hearing yesterday was a good example of credible witnesses talking about something that's so pertinent. And in this particular case, I think the Democrats didn't know what to do because they couldn't impeach the credibility of the witnesses. And they were talking for hours about the unequal application of justice, about how the Biden family was dealt with differently, despite assurances from the Attorney General and David Weiss, the U.S. Attorney in Delaware. I mean, Biden's got special treatment, and it's wrong because they're getting away with breaking the law.
Yeah, and I think that there was a lot. Well, let me ask you this question, Jason Chaffetz speaking with us right now. The whistleblowers in yesterday's testimony specifically, how necessary is it to have witnesses like they were that seemed rock solid? Like their story, their testimony seemed to be 100% theirs. They knew the answers to the questions. They knew the content that they were bringing in very well. How much does that help a hearing and for the representatives that are bringing these witnesses forward?
Well, it wasn't hearsay. They had their own personal experience. They went to a career-ending type of scenario by standing up and saying, look, I'm not some right-wing, MAGA shill. This is what I do for a living, and I do this at my own great personal peril, potentially, but this is what I've seen, and it's so wrong. It's such an abuse of power that we have to stand up and tell Congress so that hopefully Congress can fix it. And shame on the people who just tried to, all they could do is talk about Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump has nothing to do with this. It has to do with Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and the abuse of power within this structure, the legal structure, and this two-tier system of justice that we have.
We featured a clip at your immediate reaction yesterday when you were on Fox News, and I think the question that was posed to you was something to the effect of, these Democrats aren't even asking questions of these witnesses. Do you feel like they didn't do your homework? And you said, no, I think they did do their homework.
I think they did, and I think they realized that there was nothing they could do. This is going to be a really bad, devastating day for Joe Biden and the Department of Justice specifically. There are a lot of questions that have to be answered here. Next week, Annie, the Department of Justice is going before a judge to enter this plea agreement. And if the judge has looked at anything out there, how can they accept this plea agreement knowing that the investigation was thwarted, that it was not complete, that there's so much more that was uncovered or should be uncovered, witnesses? I think the thing that bothered me as much as anything is that Ziegler and Shapley, they wanted to be able to interview key witnesses, but the Department of Justice and somehow the transition office for Joe Biden coming in to be the president put a halt on that. Who else gets away with that in this world? Nobody except Biden. Nobody except Democrats in powerful positions.
We're speaking with Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz, a former member of the House and chairman of these committees. when you say no one gets away with that, I look at what Congressman Raskin was saying at the beginning, and it seemed to me like he was trying to stick pins in the balloons, deflate this thing down. Of course, prosecutors and investigators disagree with each other. David Weiss seems to think that everything was okay now. What do you make of the direction that the minority leader on this committee was trying to take this? Was he successful in doing it?
Nice try, but no. I think Jim Jordan probably did the best job of describing the change that David Weiss went through. It's just because these two people decided to step up as whistleblowers did David Weiss change his story. And the reality is he was not allowed to prosecute outside the District of Delaware. That's where we are today. And yet you have the Attorney General previously testifying, oh, no, he can get whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. Somebody's lying. And that's why these future hearings are so important, because they weren't allowed unfettered access. I mean, for the statute of limitations to expire, it's just malpractice.
Yeah.
And it was all done because of an election, because they wanted Joe Biden to beat Donald Trump. It was that simple.
What can you maybe tie together for us the impeachment that took place, the first impeachment, I guess we have to specify, of Donald Trump over the phone call with Zelensky, and the accusation, sometimes we try to humor ourselves, and you could essentially create a bingo card and, no one is above the law, and it was a perfect phone call. And there are all these phrases that come out of an instance like that in the news cycle that just seems to go on and on. But one of the things that the Democrats continued to repeat while they were pursuing impeachment of Donald Trump over this phone call was that Donald Trump was trying to dig up dirt on a political opponent. Now we know that there were nefarious things taking place between the Bidens and Ukraine that deserve to be investigated. And we know that at the time they were under investigation. How do you juxtapose that knowledge that we have right now with the Democrats in the House is leading that impeachment for something that it seems like Democrats right now might be guilty of as well, putting their finger on the balance of justice?
Yeah, if you recall, since the time Donald Trump descended on that golden escalator, they said out loud that they were going to impeach him. They just hadn't figured it out. Well, it ends up that Hillary Clinton funded a program to go out and make up fictitious information, get it planted in the media, and then use that as a justification for investigations that the Mueller report determined were never there. And certainly when you look at the combination of what John Durham was able to uncover, what Inspector General Michael Horowitz is able to uncover, and 1,000+ pages of documents, you have a Department of Justice in peril. It is in chaos. It is turned and morphed into a political organization. We can't have that in the United States of America. Truth eventually surfaces, and it's surfacing now. It's the long way to get there. It affected an election. It shouldn't have done that. But, if you're going to take a critical look of what's going on, then you really have to listen to what these IRS whistleblowers, who aren't MAGA Republicans, by the way, what these whistleblowers are actually saying.
When we're assessing this particular moment in this, what I would assume is going to be a chain of events, this isn't where the questions surrounding Joe Biden's relationship to Hunter Biden's IRS concerns. You have a hearing like this. You now have people who are under oath. Testimony is on the record. It does look very damning to the Biden family and to the Justice Department. Can Americans get any recourse? Is there anything that's going to happen?
I mean, elections are the recourse, but I think they should also demand that they have future hearings, because one thing is about how the Department of Justice didn't pursue certain avenues, but you still want to find out what the Bidens were actually doing and enriching themselves. We know that there are tens of millions of dollars that were flowing into the Bidens' bank accounts and coffers. But, we heard testimony about how they were moving some of the money. But we got to hear a lot more about that, because it's a national security interest. It is pay to play. It is the potentially the worst scandal we've ever had at the presidential level. This comes with real evidence, unlike what they did with Donald Trump. And so everybody on both sides of the aisle should be pursuing that and wanting to know and hearing from the president, because so far he's just denied it. I haven't even had a discussion with my son. But then the clip that you had to introduce me and get this discussion going was evidence that he did have discussions with him, that he was spending money on business trips with Joe Biden, that he gave him we heard previously that Hunter Biden had paid for his phone, and there are millions of dollars flowing in, and they've got to follow that money, even though the IRS was not allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's so on point. And you're right. The president right now has been allowed to deny it. And because we have an activist press, it's going to continue until somebody decides to get in there from somewhere other than a Fox News, asks the question and forces the question, and the media comes together to advocate for the people who that's why they're supposed to be there in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason Chaffetz, it's a real pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for the time today.
Always appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz. I want to talk to you about his book, The Puppeteers. It's the people who control America. This is a wonderful read for you to check out what he knows from being in Washington, D.C., and how we often talk about the swamp and we often talk about the establishment and how some things never change. You put new people into a position of authority with electing them into office, and then things just continue to have a way of repeating themselves. And Jason Chaffetz has literally written the book on this whole system. It's called The Puppeteers, the people who control America. And I highly recommend that you check it out. Wherever you get your books from, check it out, The Puppeteers by Jason Chaffetz. When we return, Tyrus is going to join us, and we're going to talk a little bit about Jason Aldean and what he had to say. We're going to get around to that with the crew as well at 2:05. And just looking forward to getting some stuff other than congressional testimonies out here. But, man, there has been so much that has been taking place. Stick around with us on the Annie Frey Show. Today's YouTube live chat poll, who has the largest population? Is it the activist left or the activist right? I'm talking numbers, folks, not volume. Big difference there. Who has the largest group of people there? The people on the left or the people on the right who are being activists? Tyrus. In a minute. Don't go away.
I'm a lover and I'm a sinner. I play my music.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight tour.
Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan just have a friend who is looking to purchase a house. And when I told him, Stewie can close in 10 days, they were like, wait, really? Yeah, it's a huge deal when you were looking to be a competitive buyer in this insane real estate market. Stewie is so quick and so good at making sure that your needs are met that he explains why the Bagel Loan is like no other opportunity when you're trying to secure a mortgage. You use the Bagel Loan. Bagels look like zeros, and you pay zero in fees that other lenders out there will charge you for. This is saving you thousands of dollars when you go through that mortgage process. If you're interested in talking to Stewie, you can call him or you can text him as well at 314-324-4440. Call or text 314-324-4440 and ask him how the Bagel Loan can help you. It can also work for refinances. If recently you've gotten a high rate and you're looking to knock it down a little bit, it doesn't cost you anything to go through the process to refinance. Connect with Stewie today. 314-324-4440. You can Google the Bagel Loan and MLS number 226715.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free. free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
The only thing the Democrats really wanted to do today was run out the clock again. They wanted to talk about President Trump. They wanted to talk about race relations and two-tiered systems of justice that are not related to this particular case.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Your love is like a radiant diamond bursting inside us. We cannot contain.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Your love will
interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Us like blazing wildfire, singing your name. God of mercy, see love of mine, I have surrendered.
The other thing, I have a great respect for Secret Service. I deal with them all the time. They are really incredible people. And Secret Service knows what's happening. They know what's happening. So I think it's very disappointing that after just a few days I was over. That's a big deal. Cocaine. Now, the cocaine, as they say, could have been worse. They could have gone to the bioweapons. They could have gone to a lot of other
Anthrax.
things. But cocaine's pretty bad if somebody's taking cocaine and making decisions.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Well, you know, it's Thursday when we have Tyrus on the show, co-host of the Tyrus and Tim podcast. He's on Gutfeld. He's an author. He's a tour of comedy shows, and he's with us on Thursdays. Tyrus, welcome back. Good to have you.
Always a pleasure.
Where are you touring right now? Are you where? Can you tell us where you are?
Fresno, California.
Fresno, California. What's it like there right now?
Hot as fish grease.
Fish grease. That's hilarious. Well, I know you've been doing a ton of work, and you kind of kicked off all of that here in the St. Louis area, so we're excited for the success that your shows have had so far. Before I ask you a question about cocaine in the White House, is there anything you've gleaned as you've literally traveled all over the country, Midwest, East Coast, obviously now West Coast? Is there anything you've gleaned, similarities that maybe these people have that the talking heads are telling us how different and divided we are?
No, that's actually the pretty amazing thing about it is, and I'm literally touring all over the United States from one corner to the other, and we're all pretty much the same. We have the same issues. We just want to take care of our families, have a little money in the bank, give our kids good education, and keep our streets safe, and be able to laugh every once in a while.
Yeah, it's the exhale, the laugh is what is definitely missing. It's kind of why I wanted to talk to you about somebody's cocaine in the White House. I don't know whose cocaine it was, and apparently we don't care anymore. This might seem like a throwaway story. Is it the most important thing facing the country right now? No. But I just got to imagine if the Bidens weren't in the White House, we'd be making accusations about whose cocaine it might be, and it would be a lead story still.
Well, it is a lead story. Okay, there was illegal drugs in the White House, and we had the greatest law enforcement and the number one policeman in the world, the president of the United States, and they can't solve the crime with a known drug addict in the House and who's currently under investigation and is making so. So I don't. This is an open and shut case, Johnson. This isn't tough to figure out whose it is or how it got there. And we already have the answers. We know it's connected to the Biden family because they can't find anything. And because they're compromised, they can't blame it on the intern. They can't ask someone to fall on their seal because somebody will then leak what's going on. So we know whose it is. The problem is that because of the DOJ and the way that things are right now, they're not going to do anything about it because we know who it is. So anyone who saw the balcony, anyone who's ever had a family member who's had an addiction, especially to cocaine, watch the entire balcony scene. He takes, in my opinion, 2 hits. But the tell is watch the mom, watch the doctor. She is looking at her husband, smiling with her teeth showing, talking to him, saying, "Get your son.
Yeah.
Get your son." We have all been there, whether it's someone's drinking too much or whatever the case may be. This isn't difficult, but because they are not going to eat their own, because they care more about the seat than the people. And that's as plain and simple as it gets. The Biden being scandal-free and Hunter basically getting a cakewalk is because they will refuse to give up power. They are so consumed with stopping what they consider Trump or any conservative values in this country that they are willing to allow all this. They're just cracking a few eggs because they know what's better for us than we do. People don't need to. We'll decide for you.
Tyrus, when you are among the people, like you were when you were in St. Louis you've done several shows here before, and you're traveling all over the place with your tour, and you're talking. I would assume that you draw a little bit of a different, unique audience to your shows. It's not just all right wingers who watch Fox News. You have your hand in so many different things. It seems to me like there's a really bipartisan hunger for this. Enough of this us versus them. There's an elite class of people in this country that are made up of Republicans and Democrats. And then there's the rest of us that have to play by the rules that they set and change at their own whim. how do those people vote?
Well, the problem is that we get caught up, and when I say we, I'm of the people. We get caught up in basically like it's a sports team or a contest where you vote in your tent, even if your tent hurts your household. And that is the sad part, because they get so caught up with the BS. And I'm going to watch my language because you know how much respect I have here.
Thank you.
But we get caught up in the constant lying and over exaggeration, and they try to make it look like there's these mobs of people and these millions of people, and they distract us like we're arguing over transgender this and we're arguing over racism that, and they have all these numbers that are supposedly going on social media, but you never see them in real life. And a perfect example is like the whole Bud Light controversy, right? Regular conservative Americans and non-conservative Americans who just thought women's face was disgusting said, no, we're not buying your product anymore. So by that, then all of the people that support that way of doing things, they should have rallied and bought the Bud Light up. And their numbers would have been like, wow, this is amazing. Every time they make a woke movie that spits in the face of men and makes women look weak, there should be huge numbers of their people showing up to support these movies. But they always flop. It's never the case. We get caught up in the propaganda that both sides spit, and we have to start looking in our neighborhoods. We have to start looking in the lower forms of government. We have to vote. You know, we need term limits, but you know what? We can also create term limits by saying, you know what? You've been here for 12 years. Thank you. We're not voting for you. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's Mitch. I don't care if it's Schumer. You've been around since Jesus was in high school. It's time to go.
It's a St. Louis question to ask what high school you went to. I don't know. I live on the Illinois side of the river, but we were just talking about that earlier. I wonder where Jesus went to high school. Our YouTube live chat poll for today, Tyrus.
I would say it had an amazing woodshop program.
You're spot on. That's funny, Tyrus. Today's.
Because
he was a carpenter. No, I got you. The YouTube poll that I have for my audience today is who has the largest population? And I'm talking strictly numbers, not volume, because I think that is something that we should all be thinking about right now. Who's bigger, the activist left or the activist right? Because they have really different modes of operation.
Neither. They're hurt for numbers. They create numbers on the Twitterverse and the Instagramverse and Facebook and convince us. They use bots. That's why they cancel. They don't go through court of laws. They create a smoke screen, and we fall for it. And we have to stop. If you turn off their TV shows, if you don't retweet, if you don't listen to stupid debates on what a woman is, they have no grounds. If you just, when it pops up on your social media, block it. That's what I do. Or even better, just turn the social media off. We really don't need it. If you could say, I hardly use it all, and it's just for work. I no longer put personal stuff up on there, and I don't look at it. Because you just get caught in that rabbit hole, and you start thinking, look what's on social media, then step out your house and see what's going on in your neighborhoods, see what's going on in your area, and you'll see the things that are real: homelessness, can't find a police officer. Your stores are barren. Gas is ridiculous, and the cost of living has gone up. Those are real. Those are tangible things that you can see in your neighborhoods. The other stuff is just what it is. It's trying to keep our minds off what's really going on, and that's what we need to be focused on. But that takes being. You got to look at yourself hard in the mirror, and you have to stop taking the easy way out, because it's so easy for all of us to use the other side as a crutch for why things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
And that's not how. We roll up our sleeves, we take our punches, and we keep going forward. And that's 90% of the Americans in this country. And that's why when I'm on these tours, and I go to small towns for a specific reason, because those are the people that I want to meet and I want to entertain and make laugh. And I don't do a political show. I crack jokes. And we have a good time. And then we do a meet and greet, we talk about stuff, and it's always the same thing. They're not represented. There is no voice for us. The extremes try to convince us that they're bigger than what they are, and they're not, because you just don't see it.
You're so spot on. Tyrus, we appreciate you. We know that you're a busy man, and we're really grateful you make time for us. Your book, Nuff Said, I'm looking right now, coming out in November. Perfect Christmas gift. And I see if you go to Premier Collectibles, you can get an autographed book and get that pre-order in just in time for Christmas. Maybe people need to go do that right now.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yep, of course. Tyrus, have fun on your tour and enjoy Fresno. Thanks for being with us today.
All right. I'll see you guys in August because I'll be out there for the chase. So, Pappies, I'm coming back.
Pappies, heads up. Sounds great. August. We got you covered. Talk to you soon, Tyrus. Take care. Bye-bye. He's the co-host of the Tyrus and Tim podcast. He's on Gutfeld. He's a Fox News contributor, and he is a, there's world traveler. What do you call a country traveler? A nation traveler. American traveler. It just seems like that's what, I don't know. He's all over the place. And it is so cool that he is doing this and going to all these small towns. Small towns, like he was in Edwardsville twice and he sold out like immediately in Edwardsville twice. And it really did all start here. And he picked our audience to start that with. So I'm always grateful to have him on here and he fit us in his afternoon. Do go get that pre-ordered book, Nuff Said, and get it signed by Tyrus. That's kind of cool. Let's take a quick break. I want to talk about the Jason Aldean story. We'll get Ryan Wiggins back in here. And he writes a song. Okay, he didn't write the song. He sings this song. It is his song. Now he's a racist, and CMT's canceling him. This is wash, rinse, repeat. Is it warranted? We'll discuss it now in the next hour. Don't go away. Bye-bye.
Surely come find us.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Your name. God of mercy.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird specials at $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late-day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. That's right. Seminar Saturday, August 5th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Or Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
This is Dan McLaughlin, inviting you to the 21st Annual Dan McLaughlin Golf Tournament to benefit the Special Education Foundation. This tournament has raised over $5 million, and 100% of the money raised has gone to children with special needs in our community. To sponsor, volunteer, or to play in the event on October 9th at Norwood Hills Country Club, please visit sef-stl.org. I'll see you on October 9th at Norwood Hills Country Club.
So we just had Jason Chaffetz and Tyrus on in this hour. If you rewind to the beginning of the hour, you can hear both on the Odyssey app. Coming up in the next hour, it's going to be Annie, Are You Okay?, hosted by Tricia. The time right now, 1:43. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. You found it here.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
Well, the truth, well, it hurts to say. I'm gonna pack up my bags and I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna split. I can't stand it.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
That was yesterday, and the truth, I won't fight it. When the love starts burning, you got to do what's right. Whoa, lover.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. You know who sings this song?
Tommy Bakersfield.
Yes, how'd you know that?
I just know a Bakersfield when I hear one. I just made up that name, you know.
How'd you Google it?
No, that's completely. Somebody's named that out there.
Isn't that the lead singer of Kiss or something?
Oh well, no, that's Gene Simmons. Not even close.
I had you for
just
a
for
second.
a second.
You're like, maybe that is.
Jared Neiman.
Yes. That's a good song.
This is a Bakersfield.
Do you know who Jason? Do you know who Jason Aldean is?
Well, I do now.
Didn't before.
I've heard the name.
He is a massive figure.
He's
in
huge,
country
right?
music.
If I've heard the name
Physically
in their country,
and popularity.
yeah. If they're a country artist and they're current, and I've heard their name, they're big.
That's big.
Yeah.
Yes, that's like me and pretty much all other music industry.
Anything made pre-1994.
No, I'd go a little earlier than that, maybe like 87.
Okay.
He's got this song out. If you haven't heard anything about this yet, then I would like to join you under the rock you're sleeping under.
Yep.
This song is called In a Small Town. Try That in a Small Town, excuse me. Try That in a Small Town by Jason Aldean. He didn't write the song. Let's see. Songwriters, Kelly Lovelace, Neil Thrasher, Tully Kennedy, Kurt Michael Allison. Does that mean anything to you?
Kurt Michael Allison, I do know.
Are you serious?
No.
You said 6 things to me, and I have no idea if you're telling the truth or not. So this song was not written by Aldean. He performed it. Is that rare in the music industry?
No, not at all.
Isn't like the phrase singer-songwriter like like they actually write their songs, Taylor Swift?
I was going to say that's why people respect Taylor Swift so much.
Yes. So he sings this song. I kind of was getting the vibe from the chat that because he didn't write it, I was just talking about it up there now, because he didn't write it, that somehow makes it worse.
Well, there's a certain level of respect when a singer does write their own music.
I'm not talking about industry-wide. I'm talking about controversy.
Oh, okay.
Wide. Because the idea is that this song, In a Small Town, by Jason Aldean, is racist.
Oh, of course it is.
Have you heard the words?
I've heard some of them.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. Yeah, think it's cool. Well, act a fool if you like. Do we as a room agree that those are foolish things that people do, but also bad things that people do?
Yes.
Yeah. Sucker punching, carjacking, pulling a gun.
Yeah, I think we would agree with that, Annie.
Consensus. Yeah. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. I don't like any of those things either.
No, I don't either.
I relate to those frustrations.
Yeah.
That the writers sung by Jason Aldean
have. If I hear those things, I say, wish they wouldn't do those things.
Those are bad things.
Those are bad things.
I don't like those things around me.
Me either.
Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. Now, that's the first half of this chorus. I have grown up, my childhood home is as country as you can get in a suburb. You've been there, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's rural, adjacent to suburban.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's a great way to live.
It's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
I then moved to a town at one point named Hamel, Illinois. It's exit 30 on 55 on your way to Chicago. You might have passed it. If you visited, you know. I understand what it's like to live in a small town. Would you guys, do you have experience with that?
Yeah, I grew up.
Or friends or family?
I mean, if you live in St. Louis,
it's the big small town.
It's actually pretty easy to live rural and still go to work downtown.
Yeah.
So I would say most of us in this city know that.
When I read this, and I haven't really consumed a ton of media reaction to what's going on with this story, mostly because it's not, I hate to say it like this, but it's true. It's just really not worthy of my time. I would rather sit and play blocks with Molly than lean into what media people have to say about this. And maybe you have turned the radio station off and are playing blocks with your kid or grandkid right now. But I do want to comment on this. See how far you make it down the road. That is a reference to the idea that there is usually a road. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like it's a one-horse town,
Yes,
right? Yeah,
yes.
single road.
Around here, we take care of our own. I mean, how many songs exist in country music about small towns, gossiping, women in the small towns, you know, just the idea that word travels fast and everybody knows everything. There is a sense of community because of the small town nature that you do care about the people who are in that community. And see previous verses, if you come into a small town and carjack an old lady, it won't be at a stoplight. It'll be at the four-way stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the gas station.
Yeah, You don't have multiples and you don't have electric lights. There are stop signs. If somebody gets carjacked there, the whole town is going to know about it and have a problem with it.
Well, yeah.
Right?
They're gonna also probably try to stop it if they see it.
Weird thing to be saying out loud for clarification purposes. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Are we mad yet?
Well, I'm mad at the things that he's listing that do exist in life.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. Anybody in here have a gun that they've inherited from family?
Roundabout, yeah. I don't currently possess it, but we have one.
But you do.
Yeah.
We have one in our house. You don't?
Not one that I inherited.
Got a gun that my granddad gave me. I mean, as a sentence, that's
normal.
That's American. That is as American as it gets. They say one day they're going to round up, well, that stuff might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Full of good old boys raised up right. I know people who refer to their friends literally as good old boys. And those friends do life differently than the people who now live in cities or bigger urban areas. Yes?
Yeah.
Good old boys is a phrase.
Referring
good old boys
to country people.
Doesn't
basically.
mean like,
Yeah.
you know, like some sort of racist
There's
virtue
there's
signaling.
nothing about that. It's a common phrase.
Raised up right. In my mind, raised up right means probably Christian, probably with the sense of saying things like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, you know, opening doors, that type of thing. Just a sense of extra politeness and courtesy. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. I have seen small town fights. It usually ends with sharing beverages after the fights have culminated. But if you want to come in and fight and you're around people who grew up in a small town, live in a rural life, they're not really afraid to fight. And they use it to solve problems. I feel like saying that about rural people I can say that because that's the way it is. I've never lived in an urban setting, but I think if you said that about a community that was the opposite of what rural is, and you said, yeah, they like to settle things with fighting, I think that could potentially be true, but would be heard differently.
Yeah.
Try that in a small town, see how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Are you ready for the worst part?
Mm-hmm.
The way he wraps it up. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town.
Okay.
That's the song.
That's the whole thing?
That's it.
All righty.
Those are the words. He films the music video with actual footage of events that happen, is what I've learned. And it's in front of a courthouse where a lynching took place. Good grief, the number in my head is escaping. I was going to say 1823?
1927.
1927, so a lot later. But a lynching within the last 100 years took place there. This courthouse has also been used in Hallmark Christmas movies and other frequent, it's a beautiful courthouse.
It's a pretty setting.
So the suggestion there is that maybe it was insensitive for him to use that. I mean, I think that's a valid criticism that Jason Aldean can say, I see why you said that. Maybe we could have picked another place, or Pound Sand. But you can criticize it.
Yeah, you definitely could bring that point up. But he also could say, I had no idea. I would love to know.
And you could and he could say, I love this courthouse. I'm glad we did it. In light of that information, I don't regret what I did. And you could then surmise however you feel about him. Isn't it kind of ironic that that's the same thing that RFK Jr. is testifying in front of Congress today about? Like, I have an opinion on something, different topic completely, but I have an opinion on something. And in America, we're supposed to be able to have these differing opinions, and you don't have to like it. You don't have to support it. But I'm here to defend my right to speak and have an opinion that you don't like. And the only kind of speech that you have to defend in that way is speech that you don't like, because you don't have to fight for someone's right to say something that you really, really want to hear. Ryan, that hat. It's great.
Go on.
It's just fantastic.
It's not what I was expecting.
No. Me either.
That's you just read all the lyrics to that song, though.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying that's racist.
Yes.
The people who are saying that's racist are attributing race to crime that is not there. So they are attributing race. They are racist.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when we come back, I'm going to play you Exhibit A of how racist some of these criticisms of the song actually are. The criticisms of it from coverage that I did see. And I said this earlier, I think it was the Hans, but it's just over and over. Facepalm, over and over. Like, why don't you see what you're doing? You're making a fool out of yourself. Shh, don't say that out loud. Rewind the tape. We're embarrassing ourselves. We forget that disagreeing and disliking things is part of the American experience, because you get to disagree, you get to dislike, you get to dismiss things and hate it and move on with your life, while the people that have offended you get to move on with them. What I'm going to play for you when we come back is going to blow your mind. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com, or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is it. The final days, the final hours of Diamonds Direct's Midsummer Store-Wide Savings Event. Time is running out on this incredible buying opportunity. You have until Saturday at 6 p.m. to shop in-store and get 20% savings on virtually everything. Exclusive trunk shows all weekend with world-renowned designers in-store. Save an extra 20% off rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, even engagement ring mountings. Don't miss this once-a-year store-wide event. Hurry, sale ends Saturday. Get all the details now at DiamondsDirect.com.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Summertime air in play the rest of the afternoon, but the humidity is going to try to drop as we get into tonight. Partly sunny, still humid this afternoon, 92. Tonight, clear skies, that dropping humidity, 65 for the low Friday. Spectacular. Partly sunny, low humidity, nice, 82. Weekend looks great. Saturday, partly sunny, 85. Sunday, partly sunny, 88. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Or frankly, anybody else for that matter.
King had been held in a South Korean prison on assault allegations and was being sent back to Texas by the U.S. military when he left the airport in South Korea. The Pentagon considers him absent without leave. Kirby says they're trying to get as much information as possible through multiple channels. One of the Democrats challenging President Biden's re-election bid lands on the Capitol Hill Grill.
At a hearing surrounding censorship, Robert Kennedy Jr. facing questions from members of Congress like Jewish New York Representative Dan Goldman about past statements considered to be anti-Semitic.
And my question to you is whether you think I should be worried about my genetics as an Ashkenazi Jew because I did contract COVID.
No, not at all. Kennedy has faced removal from social media platforms because of his criticism of vaccines. He argues that censorship leads to labels about people that aren't true.
And they're applied to me to silence me.
On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
The president focusing on the economy in Philadelphia.
I came to office determined to strengthen the middle class.
Arguing Bidenomics is doing that and using a wind farm ship project as an example of his policies attracting private investment, as the White House continues to shrug off low poll numbers on his handling of the economy. America is listening to Fox News.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great. Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed early bird specials at $49.99. Seminar Saturday, August 5th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Or Sunday, August 6th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m.
We all know about the speed of sound, but have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? Drive too fast and you could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, because one way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. During summer, be sure to use dishwashers and stoves in the evening to minimize the effects of heat. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Fact-checking the mainstream media daily.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You found it here. 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Had a packed show for you leading up till now, and now it's just Brad and Ryan and me.
Oh, man.
That kind of hurt.
Hannah's going to come in and save the show at 2:45.
I can't wait.
The YouTube live chat poll results, who has the largest population? Is it the activist left or the activist right? She might have to come in just a little bit earlier to make sure you know what time it is. Did you see this meme that's going around right now? It's talking about like helicopter parenting and how involved and active parents are in their lives. And they're like, millennials grew up where at 10 o'clock the news had to remind you to go see if your kids, where your kids were. At 10 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Well, that does seem weird.
Does this seem like, how did you get to 10 p.m.? How did it take that long for you to go, yeah, where are those damn kids? I mean, what is the deal?
Maybe. I'm going to flip this on its head. Maybe we're experiencing the problems in society now because nobody knew where their kids were at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
back then.
maybe it's your fault, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Hey, now we figured it out.
We were watching Dennis the Menace, the movie with Walter Matthau.
Dennis, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He
played
Dennis.
he played Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
And there's a scene, we're watching it with the youth group, and this is maybe 5 or 10 years ago. And there was a scene where all the kids were in the neighborhood, running up and down the neighborhood, playing
Doing what kids did without the internet.
Playing hide and go seek. And they're like, no way. Parents wouldn't let their kids do that. And it's like, oh my gosh, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, what if your parents didn't watch the news that night? They might not even remember to check at all.
Yeah, you're gone. You are gone. You're in downtown Sauget.
With Ryan Wiggins in the hot tub.
No. No, that took a turn.
I like the lack of context.
Yeah.
In that statement.
Because there is some truth, but outside of context, it really sounds awful.
Which is why.
And we're just going to leave it there, aren't we? Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it's just kind of bizarre. We were talking in the last segment briefly about the Jason Aldean song In a Small Town. I think it's important for me to say, as a country music fan, I'm not really a current country music fan, or at least huge 90s country, early 2000s country, and then the idea of bro country, I don't like it. Jason Aldean has always fit that bill for me as bro country. I've never really been a huge Jason Aldean fan, but I didn't spend time actively not being a fan. So I don't really have a dog in this fight, so to speak. But I do think that we have a very interesting way of investing an incredible amount of emotional energy into getting offended and upset. And I look at the way the revolving door goes, and it's just so predictable. I want to ask anybody who's super offended about this if they apply it equally elsewhere. And I will quote Harris Faulkner, who happens to be black and is a wonderful, one of my favorite guests on this show and hosts on Fox News. She said today regarding the Jason Aldean controversy over this Try That in a Small Town song, Harris Faulkner's words, there are a lot of songs out there with lyrics that are extremely offensive, things that rhyme with trigger. She's got a great point. And having read through the lyrics of that song, there is nothing in that song that implies race to me at all. There is nothing there that makes me go, oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. And that doesn't exist in my mind. But I want to play for you this clip from The View. And I want you to listen to what Alyssa Farah, she's supposed to be the conservative, right?
Yeah.
What she has to say about this song and the assumptions that she's making here.
So this was, This was, to me, something where about half the people in my life see it one way and half the people in my life see it a different way. So I'm trying to kind of see what are we disconnecting on. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that his intent wasn't to, stoke division, glorify violence or racism. I'm going to give him that benefit of the doubt. I don't know. But I'll say this. There was a line. So for the many folks who are offended by this, there's a line in it that says, try that in a small town, see how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. So for a lot of my friends and family who are legal gun owners in small communities, they're like, yeah, that's what we do if someone breaks into a store. He's talking about the right to defend yourself. What I thought of when I read that was Ahmaud Arbery. I think of a black man in a small town in the South who literally just got shot for doing nothing wrong.
So stop for a freaking second here, Alyssa Farah. I am going to go to Wikipedia, which is going to be Wikipedia is created by people that go there and author these things, and it can be corrected and so on and so forth. But just so that we understand Ahmaud Arbery, who this gentleman was, and the tragedy of his life lost, on February 23rd, 2020, Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man, was murdered during a racially motivated hate crime while jogging in Satilla Shores a neighborhood near Brunswick in Glynn County, Georgia. Erroneously assuming he was a burglar, 3 white men pursued Arbery in their trucks for several minutes, using the vehicles to block his path as he tried to run away. 2 of the men, Travis McMichael and his father, Gregory McMichael, were armed in one vehicle. Their neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, was in another vehicle. After overtaking Arbery, Travis McMichael exited his truck and assaulted Arbery with a shotgun. As Arbery attempted to defend himself, Travis McMichael fatally shot him. Bryan recorded this confrontation and Arbery's murder on his cell phone. These 3 individuals were charged with malice murder, felony murder, and other crimes. Their trial was November of 2021, and they were convicted. On February 22nd, 2022, the 3 men were found guilty in a federal court of attempted kidnapping and the hate crime of interference with rights, while the McMichaels were also convicted of 1 count of using firearm during a crime of violence. They were convicted of malice murder. They were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The Ahmaud Arbery story is such an incredibly sad story. And it is absolutely one that we need to understand happened in our country in this decade. There is an entire trial that was borne out that shows and tells the story of Ahmaud Arbery and the tragic end of his life. For Alyssa Farah to assume, and the reason why I separated the first conversation about this and the bringing in of Alyssa Farah's comments here is because we assessed the story on our own of the lyrics. We went through the lyrics, we listened to them, we understand having a connection to small town ourselves. Many of you do too. We understand the things that we're saying there. We know that crime is infiltrating small towns, and we know that crime is here right now in the city. We know what that's like. People in small towns have a different way of life than people in urban settings and people in suburban settings. That's just a fact of the matter. And Jason Aldean's song is a perspective of what it is like to live and exist in a small town. But I want you to listen one more time to what Alyssa Farah was saying.
To, stoke division, glorify violence or racism. I'm going to give him that benefit of the doubt. I don't know. But I'll say this. There was a line. So for the many folks who are offended by this, there's a line in it that says, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. So for a lot of my friends and family who are legal gun owners in small communities, they're like, yeah, that's what we do if someone breaks into a store. He's talking about the right to defend yourself. What I thought of when I read that was Ahmaud Arbery. I think of a black man in a small town in the South who literally just got shot for doing nothing wrong.
Who is the racist here? Her first thought when she hears this song about what it's like to exist in a small town is to apply a race to the people who live in said small town and the obvious person who wouldn't be welcome there. That's baloney sausage. And that is not what we can allow to be perpetuated in this conversation to suggest that somehow or another, the small town that Jason Aldean is singing about or the story that he was written about, when I hear that as somebody who comes from a small town, I'm not thinking about all my white people. That's insane to me. And the idea that you would automatically infer your reflexive reaction to a song that's talking about growing up in a small town where you don't like it when grandmas are carjacked at stoplights, or if you don't want to have a gun drawn on you, of which, I have been carjacked, folks, in this city that I'm sitting in right now. I have had a gun pointed at my face in standstill traffic on a bridge in this city that we're standing in right now. I know what it's like to experience that stuff. It's terrifying as hell. And it also haunts the people who love me because they're afraid they'd lose their wife or their mother or their daughter or their friend. It's a very frightening thing. You put that in a small town, it happens less. When it happened in the city, literally the detectives in St. Louis told me, we're sorry we couldn't get to your case. There's just other bigger things to deal with. If those things happen to me in Hamel, Illinois, or Warden, or, like these tiny towns that are all across the state of Illinois and Missouri, if that happened there, it would have been the story of the year because this stuff doesn't happen there, which is why people live in small towns. And Alyssa Farah, when she hears Jason Aldean singing a song about people who live in rural America who don't want to see crime get into their little city, this is one of those white people hating black people things. That's just gross. It's so gross. It makes me feel like I'm breaking out into a rash.
Yeah, it says a lot more about Alyssa Farah than it does the song. That's also a case that she's deliberately bringing up on The View because there is no two sides to that case. Nobody agrees.
It is The View, not The Views.
Yeah, right. Nobody agrees with the murderers in that case. Everybody agrees that they should be in jail. They are in jail. Case closed.
Well, the other side of that is too. She says this part. She says to my friends and families who are gun owners who live in these small towns, they hear this and they think home invasion. She then goes, but I hear. And so the song is racist because Alyssa Farah hears something that maybe that song wasn't about. That bothers me. You are not allowed to imply meaning onto something that is not the meaning of. If you're offended by that offense by you is completely your fabrication because you have no other proof outside of this is how I felt when I heard this song. I don't like that. I think that's wrong. I hate that people do that.
Man, I cannot muster the energy to solve the great problem that is Jason Aldean in this country when I come to and from St. Louis, Missouri every single week. And when I drive to work, there are people passed out on the sidewalks. I hope they're passed out. I literally look over my shoulder in my rearview mirror trying to see a hand move because they might be dead. I literally pass by that place on the sidewalk outside one of the privately operated homeless shelters that exists in the St. Louis, city of St. Louis, where that man was executed at 10-something a.m. for whatever reason. I don't know. We don't know anything more about no, we're not following up on that. It was literally a Tuesday morning in St. Louis. Abject poverty, crumbling buildings, people who are hungry, people who don't have shoes, people who don't have homes, people who are suffering in the heat and freezing in the cold every single day in St. Louis. And guess what? Next week, next month, next year, it's all going to be the same. It's going to, except for the fact that I'm wrong. Maybe it'll get worse. Maybe the rot will continue. And we don't care about these people. We don't care about helping these people. We just want to make sure that politically we don't have to suffer the consequence of any sort of responsibility to handle them. We will use them come election time. But we can't help them because if we help them, then we can't use them the next election time. So pardon me why I don't feel like I need to defend whether or not Jason Aldean is racist, because the people who are out there spewing their irate rage over this very song that CMT won't air anymore. Good grief. This song was never going to be a bigger hit than it is now.
Yeah.
Well done, folks. You just did Jason Aldean a real solid. I got to go figure out how to buy a song now. I don't even know how.
Yeah, there's no way I would have ever known this song existed except for the controversy around it. That's the other big thing here is that we've all known, we talk about it all the time, that there is an approved narrative. There is approved hive think that government corporate has said this is the way you have to think about everything. What the big story here is, we didn't know for sure that hive mind applied to country music. And now we know that it does. The country corporate system is also part of that same system.
Well, when you say country music, you're talking about big country.
Big country.
Not the people who listen to it, because they're going to support Jason Aldean in this. And they're going to be people who support common sense. And it's not about whether you like the song or not. It's about the mob, which is about today's YouTube live chat poll, which is why I asked it. Who has the largest population? The activist left or the activist right? what even is an activist person on the left and what is an activist person on the right? Because, like I said earlier, the modus operandi is so incredibly different between those sides of the political aisle. There are a lot of people who are affecting change right now, and to me it seems like the right is incredibly reactionary. They're sitting idle. They're waiting to be told, you're going to have to do something about this now. I don't know if that's the right way to move about it. Maybe they need to start making some things happen. Maybe the right needs to get in there and get aggressive. And I hear what you're thinking in your head, liberals. Oh, what is she saying? Is she saying we should use violence? No, stop it. You are drunk on your liberal ideology where all you think about is how to dunk on the person who is on the opposite side of the aisle. And on the right, if you're the person who has been aggressive and dismissive and won't sit down and listen to people who think differently than you, then you're never going to get your thoughts out there, your perspective out there for somebody to consume so they can listen to you and disagree with you because they understand you. It's okay to understand people who are different than you and go, that's not the way I see it. Want to go get coffee? That's okay. It's encouraged. And when you do that, you have power over the people who want you to only vote how you feel, not how you think. I know tons of people in my circle, in my family, in my church life, in my social life, in my kids' social lives, who don't think about things exactly the way I do. Unfortunately, all of my thoughts are out there for the world to see. And if someone disagrees with it, they can come up and just start, oh, you remember that thing you said on Tuesday? Nope. I'm sorry if I said something that bothered you. I mean, I'm always saying, I'm sorry if I offended you. Like, I certainly don't mean to do that. I want to articulate where I come from. I'd like to listen to where you come from. There's too much division, there's too much hate, and there's too much jumping to conclusion so that we can perpetuate this idea that we could never understand each other. I think you're not as far away from the important people in your life than it might seem. And sometimes you got to be the first one who's willing to sit down and say, I'd like to listen to you, rather than I'd like to tell you how it is. Let's take a quick break. We can react to it. And I have an assessment for us when we come back. I'm looking forward to bringing it to your attention. Are you ready?
Yes. I don't know. Maybe.
Stick around. I also want to react to the YouTube live chat poll and ask you guys who has the largest population, the activist left and the activist right. You can go vote on the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat of the current live broadcast. Back in a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Thomas Helbig Retirement Advisory Group Seminar is coming up August 8th. I'm going to be there. How are you? Are you going to reserve your spot yet? Have you? Make sure you call 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494, and sign up for the Tuesday, August 8th event. It's at 6:30 p.m. at the Plaza Frontenac Hilton. I get there at about 6 o'clock, and I would love the opportunity to meet you, to shake your hand and get to know you. Mark Cox and Mark Reardon will be there as well, and we set it up. We set up the event for you to be able to listen to what Thomas Helbig has to say about how he can help you protect your retirement once you get there. If you're in your late 50s and your 60s, you're going to have to shift from all of that accumulation that you have been saving and sacrificing for over the years to making sure that you can pay yourself in retirement, that you can retire at the age that you expected to, and that you're going to be able to have the lifestyle that you can afford. Thomas Helbig will help you with that at this free event, and he doesn't take up your whole evening. It's like 45 minutes, might not even be, of him talking starting at 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, August 8th, 6:30 at the Plaza Frontenac Hilton. You can sign up by calling 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com.
Being a baseball play-by-play broadcaster demands a blend of learned mechanics, intense preparation, and a calm sense of entertainment. How hard is it to do this job? Let's talk to the ones who do it. This is Matt Spiegel. My new podcast, The PBP, Voices of Baseball, will bring those conversations to you as the best working and former broadcasters tell you why and how they do it. New episodes come every Thursday all summer long. Follow The PBP, Voices of Baseball on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122. 800-987-6122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Summer's just getting started. Still need your air conditioner checked? Schedule your HVAC system check for only $54. This is a limited time offer. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. Anytime, anywhere. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go.
Yeah, y'all know what it is.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Let's rage.
And here you were gonna come to me. And here you are, but you better choose carefully. 'Cause I'm capable of anything, and everything. Make me your everything.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I did a story earlier in the week. Tricia's in here. We're going to do Annie, Are You Okay in a second. Did you hear me doing the story about how to tell a supervisor if they ask, hey, where were you? Were you just at lunch? If you were really in the bathroom?
No, I missed that. What's the right answer?
How you're supposed to respond to this guy wrote to Miss Manners, and apparently this guy said, no, I wasn't at lunch. I was in the can. and then when he went to have his performance review, they're like, you do your job great, but you're a little too comfortable with people. So we had a whole conversation about, and Ryan, you said your answer to, hey, Ryan, I saw you weren't at your desk. Were you at lunch? If you were in the bathroom, your answer would be what?
Just hold up a peace sign, assume they know that means number 2. And if they don't, then they think, just peaceful dude.
You just stand there holding up a 2.
Yeah.
What if it's a number 1?
You're going to get a different response
then
in your review.
Then you say do know and uno.
Do know. Do no harm. Here, Fox News reports, this is what I want to ask you because this kind of follows with this, but it might be kind of a generational thing. Etiquette classes, new corporate trend for the uncouth. This is going
to be hard for me because I'm very couth.
Fox Business. It's like, nah.
That was my performance review. Steve said, you're too couth.
Did he?
And I said, okay, I'll try to change that, but it's going to be hard
I think if we could let Steve do your performance review on the air, that would be really good for the radio.
Yeah. Let's not.
You're still here. Fox Business says many companies already providing training on workplace etiquette to staffers, and some intend to join that trend in the near future. Resume Builder said last week that the share of companies with intentions of making work etiquette classes available to people in their employ moving forward came in at 20%. Nearly half, 45%, of the firms slated to offer them said they will do something or due sometime in 2023, with a slightly higher percentage reporting plans for the year after that. Those firms will add to the 45% of organizations where training on workplace etiquette course offerings have already been rolled out.
What did you just say?
More and more companies, corporate structures are identifying the fact that etiquette classes need to be offered because there's no etiquette among their employees.
I appreciate that they used a phrase that I would use, people in their employ. It's very couth.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah. It means you're underlings.
Companies surveyed pointed to things such as increased client interactions, instances of inappropriate work attire.
No Beetlejuice?
Nope. Oh, I was talking about her.
Guys. You looked around, you craned your neck.
She looks beautiful. I just wanted to see how y'all were dressed, and you all look wonderful.
Thank you.
Inappropriate work attire and a need to get workers, quote, on the same page about office conduct as factors that prompted them to bring the trainings to their employees. For companies focusing the trainings on certain workers, just seems like, how do you do that?
Oh, man.
It's that guy. Everybody knows it's that guy.
I love when they do, quote unquote, random drug testing at some companies.
It's the same guy.
Oh, it's the same couple of people every time for some reason.
The survey reported a majority of them said, quote, most or all, end quote, of their employees who fall in the 18 to 27 age range or recently got their college degrees would have to take the class.
Oh.
Hannah, please report to the studio.
She's out there texting.
She can't. She's out there couthing.
She's in her pajamas. She's got the top knot on, and
she knows we're talking about her now.
She's got. Why is she wearing those cucumbers on her eyes? I almost said avocados. That's not right.
Why is she wearing those avocados on her
She's not
hands?
even doing it right.
Weird.
Hannah, come in here.
I'm at a spa. I've got avocados all over my
There
arms.
is a dramatic difference. Tricia, you are, come on, come in. There's a dramatic difference, Tricia. You are in your early 30s?
34, yep.
34. I'm in my late 30s. Ryan's in his 60s, so he's here to represent the boomers.
That's not true. I was born in the 60s.
Well, then why are you wearing a three-piece suit? And your Fed hat? It just doesn't work for me.
Well, sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not approved in the way that I look.
It's a three-piece suit, but it's a bunny suit.
The little mittens, each one's separate.
When I put on my cummerbund and I come in here every day, I don't expect to receive this kind of treatment, but I do.
It's because you demand respect.
He's out there asking Hannah to shine his shoes. She's like, what?
I can't. I got avocados on my hands.
Would you say, seriously, for the four of us who are all millennials, and then we have Gen Z Hannah in here, for the four of us, would you say that in our working lifetime, dress code has dramatically
Oh my gosh.
gone down?
100%.
Yeah. for
COVID
sure.
didn't help. I will say COVID made it, even our generation, switch up what they were comfortable with. And we're in radio, so there were times in the past.
So we're slobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worn different two different boots and pajamas and everything else, but
2 different boots, eh?
Yeah.
So are we supposed to trash Hannah now?
Was that on purpose or on accident?
It was an accident.
Was it
But I
dark?
felt comfortable continuing my workday like
Yeah,
that.
the show must go on.
Yeah,
regardless of the boots. But I mean, like the idea of athleisure being a fashionable portion of what we do. Hannah, you are into the athleisure. That there's nice athleisure that is out there, but it is now acceptable in the workplace.
Oh, yeah. I'll leave for work sometimes. My mom will be like, are you sure you want to wear that? I'm like, yes, it's fine. Right now, actually, I'm wearing Under Armour athletic joggers and a pink T-shirt and my hair in a ponytail.
Ponytail hair isn't bad.
Not very
Let me there's anything else
professional.
You look great.
Thanks. But yeah, the work attire, that's all I've really ever known.
Would you guys
wear what you want?
Anybody in here like to go back to a place where, if you look back to how our grandparents, or even like Leave It to Beaver, where women wore dresses and like you had a hairstyle and everything, and men wore suits and hats. Would anybody in here like to go back to that, Ryan?
No, not at all.
That's shocking.
Yeah, I
Brad?
thought,
Man,
put away your top hat, Ryan.
Brian never
Like-
left it.
I like the idea of it. I love the way, I love the look,
Dapper.
the aesthetic. Yeah, I like all of that. But it has to be comfortable. And suits, every time I put on a suit, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go back
Maybe
to
you need
that.
a different suit.
I need a suit that is flexible and
When Brad goes home, he dresses nice, but when he goes home, he immediately takes off his bra.
It is the best part of the day. And my kids know that too. They're like, oh, we're staying home.
Because Brad's bra's off.
It's hard to go back.
Yeah.
Trisha, is there any
It's
part
a
of
bro,
you that
Ryan.
would like
It's
to
a bro.
go back to that kind of expectation? Cultural community expectation.
Yes, there is.
Hannah, you don't? No?
No.
I would love it.
I'd like to see it on an airplane.
I would too. I'd like.
I like to see snakes on an airplane. The movie.
What kind of snake?
With Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He's great.
Love him.
Yeah, I would. I would like to.
Thanks
see
for that contribution. You really helped further this conversation for the people who are listening right now.
I will say this to further the conversation.
You're laughing, giggling because you know how serious it was.
I'll say this. I've had bosses who said absolutely no yoga pants, Ryan, and I've had some who said only yoga pants, Ryan.
Here, I got an
Oh
idea.
my gosh.
I got an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will fund it.
Yeah. Where's this going?
When we get
Where do you think this is going?
I
You're
don't
wearing
know.
yoga pants.
when we get 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, can we get you an outfit that Hannah wears to work? Can she pick out an outfit she has? I'll buy it in your size, and you got to wear that to work. You can say
As
no.
long as it's in my size.
You can say no.
Here's the deal.
Leggings.
We have to wear the same outfit.
Crop
it can't
top.
be just
Yes.
something random. Like she's got to have that same outfit.
Yeah.
Leggings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
midriff.
Crop top.
No, here's the deal.
I would wear crop tops to work.
We all have
You
to
will
wear
that
it.
day.
All of us have to wear the same
But
outfit.
how are you going to do the
no.
ponytail?
I don't care what the outfit
This isn't
is.
about me.
We
This
just
is
all
about
have
you.
to wear it.
No.
Yeah, that's the deal.
No,
I
that's
agree
a
to that.
Dumb
I've
deal.
never said this before, but I want to see you in leggings and a crop top.
So did my one boss. It was weird. That job did not last a long time. But I did get a couple good parts out of it. I'm sorry.
This is not the segment we're supposed to be doing right now. Will you do Annie, are you okay real fast when we come back? Yeah,
of course.
We're going to need a minute. This is the third time I've not said something on the air and probably saved my job. All right, let's take a quick break. The results of the YouTube live chat poll. Who has the largest population, the activist left or the activist right? Ryan, get your act together, and we'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
There's no going back.
Air Comfort Service understands that you are trying to be in your comfort zone, and when you're not in your comfort zone, the air blowing out of that air conditioning system, maybe it's not reaching the second floor where your bedrooms are. Maybe it's not blowing the cold air that's cooling the house in the time that it should. You can reach out to them and get a system check. It's a great way to make sure that you don't have to spend the extra money on a repair or replacement if you can catch something in time. For a limited time, you can get an HVAC system check for only $54 by calling Air Comfort Service. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you do, 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. If you are looking to make a replacement for your HVAC system, whether it's commercial or residential, they have all that you need to make it as affordable as possible. Carrier Cool Cash rebates have been extended until July 31st. Don't wait to schedule your free estimate. Like I said, call them at 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free. easy, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years, Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO, easy to remember phone number, or go online today at 877-25-RHINO.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
We are Under Law, your St. Louis legal powerhouse. Auto accidents, work injuries, pharmaceutical litigations, we do it all.
Under Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Visit getjim.com.
This is Owen Goldstein with All Surface Flooring, here to announce our anniversary sale starting July 17th through July 22nd. That week only, we will be offering 20% off our entire store, including Mohawk Smart Strand Carpet and the incredibly durable Mohawk Ultra Wood. On Saturday, July 22nd, come join us for our parking lot extravaganza. Help us celebrate All Surface Flooring with food, drinks, prizes, and our largest sale in store history. You won't want to miss this one-time only sale.
Today's Annie Frey Show YouTube live chat poll is asking who has the largest population, the activist left or the activist right? Let us know in the comments of the live stream. The time is currently 2:44. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Thursday afternoon, more reaction from the whistleblower testimony on Capitol Hill. Also, Kim Strassel from the Wall Street Journal. She's got a new book out called The Biden Malaise.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
What do you think about when you hear the song?
I think about sunshine, cloudy days, being cold outside.
What have you, Tricia?
My Girl, the movie.
Fantastic. Same. Anybody else? Have you ever seen My Girl? You've never seen My Girl.
Man.
Is Macaulay Culkin in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
First one, yeah.
Yeah, he dies.
Thomas J.
Oh, he dies in that movie. That's right.
Yeah.
Bee stings?
Spoilers.
Now I don't have to see it.
I remember seeing that movie pop up and always wanting to watch it, and then getting halfway through, I'm like, I don't want to watch this.
It's so sad.
It's so sad.
I
Girl
remember that
wasn't as
too.
sad.
Yeah, it's
Watching as a kid and going, I don't want to watch this movie.
no, wait, kid dies?
Yeah, this isn't funny.
No,
This isn't quirky.
Yeah, I think of that.
This isn't Three Ninjas Kick Back.
It's a what?
Rocky Colton, Tum Tum.
Man,
Thank you.
Okay,
I
didn't watch
cannot
any of that.
contribute to whatever it is you're discussing. Is this about Kiss again?
No, this is not about Kiss or Gene Simmons.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm trying to keep up with you. You're so fast paced.
That's me and Brad. Same wave. Colton, Tom, and
That's Brad.
whatever the other guy's name was.
Rocky.
The YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. I don't know what they're talking about. Who has the largest population, the activist left or the activist right? Brad, your thoughts?
I think the activists left actually have a larger group.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that?
I think that you see them doing more stuff, and there's more of them to do. But I don't think that the activists left is the big juggernaut that everybody thinks it is. I just don't think there's as many people on the right who are activist-minded.
Tricia?
I think they're right. I just think they're more low-key about it.
Activist right, left seems to just have a bigger voice.
I'm saying the activists left. If there is a bigger right, I don't know about it. So
Hey,
I'm voting
how can you be
left
an
because that's all
activist
I
if you're not
see.
active?
They
It
are
depends
active.
on how you define active. I mean, there are people who are, first of all, like with the Bud Light thing, I am in favor of Bud Light redeeming themselves and coming back and being able to do. I would like to see them resurge because they took the next natural right action. Same thing with any entity. I would like to see the activism on the right have an effect that causes change. And then the activist right goes, thank you. Now we're back. And thank you for, that's, I think, the purpose of change as opposed to just perpetual cancellation. Because I don't like cancel culture. I think that the activist right is much larger than the activist left. I just think it takes, I don't know this, I can hear the argument now. You're going to say, then they're not activists. Make sure when you say it like that. I think it takes more to get the activist right moving.
So predictable.
I have to wail
Yeah,
from
they
Finding
definitely
Dory.
wouldn't have the same outrage trigger.
But I think once they get going, good luck stopping it. Real quick, a comment from a listener, Hannah, if you want to.
Joe K says, I'm voting left on today's poll, but it's hard to tell because activism from the two sides take two very, very different forms.
All right, get your comments.
Now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
In on the YouTube live chat poll there, and we will give the results in about 7 minutes or so.
Burger King worker accused of serving fries out of the trash. A Burger King employee in South Carolina is facing serious charges after allegedly tampering with customers' food. Police say Jamie Major, a 39-year-old assistant manager, took fries out of the trash can, then dumped them on top of fresh fries before serving them to a customer. Major was arrested and charged with a felony malicious tampering with food, which carries a potential sentence of up to 20 years in prison.
Wow. So wait a second, just so I can clarify, how did the fries get in the trash in the first place?
Somebody put them there. What it sounds like to me, and I don't know what her defense is, she probably was short on fries, grabbed the ones in the trash to
Dan on
bulk
YouTube
up that
says,
order.
sounds like recycling.
Yeah, not to bring this back to current events, but so Trash Fry guy is going to end up in jail way longer than Hunter Biden, who was doing international money laundering.
Potentially, yeah.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah. The question is, Annie, are you okay with prison time for this crime?
I am in favor of making an example out of fast food workers who don't take their job seriously in that regard, because they do have a responsibility to serve good food that is clean. I want to be able to trust that, but that's ridiculous.
20 years is a lot of time.
That's crazy ridiculous. Make a scene and make sure that that other people are like, oh, I don't want that to have happened. But you can't take 20 years of someone's life from, no, I don't like that.
Florida family awarded $800,000 after suing McDonald's and a franchisee when
Are you hungry?
Child was. I actually am a little bit now. When their child was burned with a chicken nugget.
Oh, man.
$800,000
for a chicken nugget burn. The incident occurred in 2019 at a McDonald's drive-thru after a hot nugget got stuck between a 4-year-old's thigh and seatbelt. The complaint said
burned them? How hot was this nuggie? That's what we call them, chicken nuggies in my house.
The complaint said
we eat
the
a lot of chicken.
So many nuggies.
Wait a minute, how was that nuggie? That sounds like a Cardinals broadcaster. Oh, man, that's some chin music. How hot was that nuggie?
That sounds like a Cardinals broadcaster?
Yeah.
I would say like a Royals broadcaster.
Okay, sure. Sorry.
The Royals are going, hey!
John Rooney's listening. It's like, what the heck?
He's like,
I've
that's
never
right.
said anything about a hot nuggie.
Royals. You've got kids. Do you call chicken nuggets anything other than chicken nuggets?
We call them McNuggets usually because we get them at McDonald's, but no.
We call chicken nuggets. I don't know if, when I say we, I start these things and then they become part of the conversation. They're chicken nuggies, and we call noodles nudies.
Oh.
Yeah. No, we reserve that term for something else.
I like to say these things, and then my kids go out in the wild and use it in public, and I'm like,
yeah. Hey, look, I've got nudies. Whoa.
Where are your parents?
Whoa.
They're in big trouble.
That's Annie Fry's
This
kids.
is a
Can you believe
Christian
it?
school.
Your mom's on the radio.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm talking about the noodles. Yeah, sure.
Right.
Well, they wanted $15 million. They only got $800,000 because they claimed that the little girl was scarred.
Literally.
Yeah. Are you okay with this verdict with $800,000 for a chicken nugget burn?
I mean, no. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So much money.
I'd take a burn for $800,000.
I know. Where are the
You
chicken
wouldn't-
nuggies?
You wouldn't do it to your kid,
No.
but you'd
Well.
be like, put the nuggie on my arm and just make it fast.
Yeah. Just brand me.
Go, go, go.
Man, that guy loves nuggets. He's got a branded arm nugget.
Was it
looks like one of those
nuggie
foot-shaped
or what?
ones.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got nuggy marks everywhere.
McDonald's always knows where I go then, and I'm in the pasture.
Please, people who are listening, start calling them chicky nuggies for me, and let's make that a thing. Yeah.
Schnucks to roll out AI-powered Instacart shopping carts in the St. Louis area. The new shopping carts use AI to automatically identify items, allowing customers to bag their groceries as they shop and pay through the cart. Schnucks is working with Instacart to roll out the shopping carts to 3 St. Louis area locations later this year. The shopping carts will connect to their rewards and access clipped promotions and to, quote, light up electric shelf labels from their phones to easily find items. Annie, are you okay with AI-powered shopping carts?
A follow-up question, if I may, which I may.
Is this about nuggets or
I will.
AI?
It is your show.
Nuggies.
Nuggies?
I don't know anything about nuggets.
'Kay.
You keep your nuggets to yourself.
I usually do.
Keeps them in his little yoga pants.
Usually. Yeah, we're about to find out. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Again,
people
I had
are
one boss who was like, keep your
actively
nuggets to yourself.
Stop
The other one was like, no, don't.
setting me up. Do you, Brad, if you go into a store and you're in Walmart or somewhere that has self-checkout, do you seek out a manned, I'm just going to stick with it, a manned checkout lane or a do-it-yourself one?
The open one. Just whichever one's open. I don't have a preference either way.
I'm going self-checkout.
I'm going with Brad.
You can't go with him.
Brad
He's
doesn't
by
work
himself.
at
Yeah, then it's not open.
Well, I just want to ride.
Thanks for not participating, Hannah.
I'm always going to go to the human checking me out instead of me doing it. Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. We all,
He's got
you
some
prefer
hot
a human to be
nuggies, too.
checking you out rather than a robot.
Oh, my.
That's okay.
Again?
It's okay.
It's just so cute when she doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to the self-checkout. I'm waiting in line to use the self-checkout before I'm going to a human. People are really, really worked. I think it's generational, but we kind of were dispersed here. So if I can put it in my cart and check
Put
it
your
out
food in your
myself,
carpet.
then I'm totally doing that. And there are places that I've gone shopping where you can have a mobile app on your phone and scan yourself, do self-checkout, and you go get a bag, you put it in, and you walk out the door.
Yeah.
I'm for that. The
Yeah,
less
I always
human
have to
interaction,
use
the
I always
better.
have to use row 18 because that's where I get my cartons of cigarettes. You can't get that in the self-check.
Hannah, anything else? You good?
Yep.
Yes, I'm absolutely okay with this. Good job, Schnucks.
A statue with the head of a seagull and the body of a human woman is raising controvery for a second time in Massachusetts.
Sounds like that's out of the book of Ezekiel.
Is it racist?
No, it's too sexy.
A seagull and a woman?
Seagull Cinderella. This statue has a seagull head and a woman's body. And at one point, it was in town and it was not clothed. And the town pushed back and said,
The
"Get
seagull
that
was
sexy
embarrassed.
seagull out of here." So they took the seagull out and they put a bikini on it.
Get that sexy seagull out of here.
Put the seagull back.
You can see them seagull nuggets everywhere.
They were talking about
Bikini.
Steven.
KATV.com has a headline, Bird with Boobs Statue in Massachusetts creates controversy once again. That's not sexy. That looks ridiculous.
The picture is way funnier than the story.
Wait, is it this one?
No,
Wait,
that's
no,
her,
I don't
Amy.
know. Look at Hannah's.
Oh. No, look at this one. This is stupid. What is that?
That's her. She's getting kicked out of the town again.
Oh
The
my
town's
God.
mad.
That looks like a cartoon character.
They're picking that. It just looks like a porcelain
I think
bowl.
they just don't like it because it's ugly.
It's got pink petunia-like nip covers, so you can't see anything. And a
Too
nicely...
sexually suggestive.
What is
Dude,
wrong
that
with
thing?
you?
Worked up.
I mean, it really does just look like it's something at an antique market.
YouTube live chat poll results, Hannah?
Yes. Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking who has the largest population, the activist left or the activist right?
I think it's New Bedford, Massachusetts.
With 175 votes, 71% of the people said the activist left has the largest population. 29% of the people voting that the activist right has a larger population.
Well, thank you for participating in that poll today. If you missed anything on the show, we had Hans von Spakovsky on the hearings, his legal reaction. Jason Chaffetz is somebody who chaired the Oversight Committee on at 105. And we talked to Tyrus, and then the rest of it kind of was a slow descent into Mark Rude's show. So Check the podcast for the first half of the show. Mark Reardon, I'm back.